on? We are Geeks Not Nerds. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
Vince, today we're going to talk about a magazine article.
Oh yeah?
We're going to do a video response to a magazine article.
And that article is?
This came out of Entertainment Weekly this week. The issue, by the way, that shows us what Green Lantern looks like, Vince.
Ooh, exciting.
Ooh, I know, it's exciting.
Apparently he looks like Deadpool.
That's right. Well, and because of Comic-Con and everything, there's a staff writer by the name of Jeff Jensen who wrote an article called "Are Superheroes Still Super?" I guess they just felt like they needed more stuff that says the word superheroes in it for this particular issue, Vince. And we wanted to talk about this because, well, frankly, we were somewhat disturbed by some of the things he had to say, and we wanted to use this as a bit of a springboard to also talk about journalistic integrity. So, so here we go. Vince, what was basically this article trying to get across, as far as you could tell?
The way I saw it is, this guy's saying is that superheroes are a market that may have outlived its welcome.
That it's starting to dry out.
Yeah, and he says a few things in there that are highly disturbing. Now, I really don't think this guy supports any of his points. He does have lots of facts. I mean, he does pull, this movie made this much money, this movie made this much money.
His biggest point is The Dark Knight made a lot of money, and nothing has been making that much money since then. You know why?
Because it's The Dark Knight.
Because no one hasn't made another Batman film, that's why. The thing is, the guy just doesn't seem to really know his stuff very well, and it kind of made me wonder why he was the one writing this article. He was pointing to things that, like, he tried to support at least that point, Vince, and he would say things like, well, Watchmen didn't make a lot of money. It didn't do as well as they might have expected. It did. I think it did like $100 million domestically or something, and so it made back what it cost to make, but it wasn't, you know, a giant huge success. Should that surprise anyone? It's an R-rated superhero film. You can't expect that to be giant guns. Mm. You know, and he said the same thing about Kick-Ass. How are these even remotely comparable to Dark Knight? You know, I don't see, as far as marketing.
I just don't see how this guy can even make that leap. I don't see how that's a logical leap to make. I mean, say, you know, the new Stallone movie comes out. Everybody's going to go see it because they know Stallone. But say Reb Brown makes another movie, nobody cares. Yeah. Do you know who Reb Brown is? My case in point.
I mean, he even mentioned Jonah Hex, and he was like, well, Jonah Hex bombed. I was like, okay, it's not like superhero movies have never bombed before. Yeah. And then he was talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and he said, well, as soon as a genre starts parodying itself, that's when you know it's on its way out. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? First of all, it's not like this is the first time that there's ever been a superhero movie parody, right? There's been tons of those. What was Blank Man? That was even before there were very many superhero movies, right?
You know, I'd almost argue that...
Ooh, Blank Man. Vince, I'm going to have to do a rewind on Blank Man.
I like Blank Man.
Anyway.
It's funny.
I just realized that. Go ahead.
Well, good luck.
I was a little disturbed by that revelation. Anyway.
Aw. But yeah. It's a parody. I would almost argue that even camp, to some extent, can be seen in the same light as a parody. I mean, sure, I understand that he's saying a parody is something looking back on itself, so that the body of the work is previous to this. But you have another medium that is driving this current subgenre. There's lots of stuff to look back on already. Oh, yeah. So therefore, parodying stuff that already exists...
makes sense. Yeah, it's just going to happen. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not sure... I'm not sure how he's getting where he's getting, and like I said, it seemed like it was mostly just kind of there to fill space. So, I don't know, I guess I don't read a lot of this kind of stuff. I'm not a big magazine reader. I do read Entertainment Weekly, and I rarely have I ever been this appalled by an article, and I think it's just because I know more than this guy about what he's writing about. And it's not even so much, I'm not trying to be fanboyish about this. It isn't like, oh, well, Captain Logan loves superhero movies, and this guy's saying that superhero movies are on their way out, so he's upset. No, actually, I would almost tend to agree with him if he was talking about things like the genre being too flooded. You know what I mean? Like oversaturation of superhero films. I think that has the potential to kill the genre. So I don't know. I mean, I think that and we're gonna even do a podcast on oversaturation. I think that I think that there are points to be made here, but he's just like being random, and it bugged me.
You know, I think the problem for this article is that it's so ridiculously short that he has no real time to develop a point and make something that supports itself. I mean, he pretty much tosses out these random little tidbits of information and then puts in his opinion and then moves on to other little random tidbits of information. You know, I understand where he's getting this stuff. And maybe if you are of the exact same mind as this guy, you will get the article in the exact same way.
There's one thing he said that I really agreed with, and that was next year will really help tell us if superheroes will remain popular in movie entertainment. Sure, and you know why? Because no huge major properties, with the exception of Iron Man, were done this year. You know what I mean? Like all the superhero films that happened this year were things that a lot of people had never even heard of before they were put out.
And you know, which movie did he conveniently leave out of the article?
Iron Man 2. It's listed nowhere in this article, and it just came out 2 months ago. And guess what? It did fine. I mean, it did big guns, as far as I know. I know the theater I went to was packed.
You know, the only thing that I really see about this article is that it's filler. It's like Entertainment Weekly had another page that they needed information on, and they wanted to do superheroes.
But what bugged me about it, and this is where we get into the journalistic integrity part, Vince, is that he tried to sound really intellectual on it. You know what I mean? We're like, I came up with this amazing revelation of maybe this genre is on its way out, and he's attempting to look like he's speaking intelligently, but it isn't making sense, at least to anybody who knows what they're talking about. And it scares me, Vince, because you can't tell me this is the only place where this is happening.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think what it is just saving face. Is that I think the magazine wants that page filled with something, and they say, make us look good. So he tries.
I think they also want, and I think most magazines are probably like this, they want like intelligent-looking opinion articles, so that it looks like they have integrity. So it looks like they're more than just, well, we review things and we tell you when things are coming out. You know what I mean? We also have people on our staff who know what they're talking about, and they can help you think about things in a different way. But do they really have those people? Where did this guy come from? Now, I haven't read any of his other articles, and I read this magazine, and I don't think I've read this guy before, or at least if I have, I don't remember. But I mean, you mentioned to me earlier when we were talking about this, Vince, that this guy doesn't even have good organization. Like, this doesn't even look like a good high school paper.
It seems shoddily written. It seems like somebody just tossed something together and drew it on a page. It's not... I've read better papers while peer reviewing other people's stuff in college.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like we're just bashing one article, but this is everywhere, and we're just bringing this particular article up because it's about superheroes, and that's what we do here on Geekvolution.
Sorry, Mr. Jensen.
Yeah.
You're the pariah of the week.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's not entirely fair. Like I said, I haven't read any of his other articles, but what it might be, Vince, is simply they picked the wrong guy to write this article. You know, these things are assigned, and, you know, maybe Mr. Jensen just doesn't know enough about superheroes to write this article, or superhero movies to write this article. But, I mean, I don't think he does, and anyway... It bugged me a little bit. I was like, what are you talking about? So anyway, if you get a chance to check out this article, and I'm going to see if it's on their website and put a link in the description if it is. You know, take a look at it. Tell us what you think about it. You know, if you can make more sense out of it than we did. And if you find other, articles that are kind of like this, where it's someone just trying to sound impressive, but they don't really know what they're talking about. And this happens with movie reviewers and stuff all the time.
You know, I think this ties in back into two things. One, I think that style is more important than substance to everything, be it news or entertainment or whatever. Entertainment, your news can be considered entertainment.
Unfortunate.
And the other thing, I forgot. So we're just going to leave it at that. It's just got so important. It riles me up when I think of style being more important than content.
Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this. And if you have ideas for us to do another topic later on, leave that in the comments as well. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Forgetful Vince.
And we'll see you next time on Geeks Not Nerds.
Nothing in there.
No, I didn't see anything in there either.